So this is a rough and ready YouTube for the kayak and fishing enthusiasts out there, because I want to show you what's going on with the boat at the moment. There's a lot of work that I want to do before we actually set off on this voyage. And every night after work for the past 2 weeks, and you can see my family's not here, I've been constructing the power supply, the solar panels, all the electricals and all the rigging, so that this voyage has the best chance possible of making history. So every spare minute after work and every weekend at the moment, this is my world. And this is the Hobie Tandem Adventure Island kayak that hopefully is going to make history when it sets off in 99 days and hopefully returns 12 days later. So here's another Railblazer mount on one of the outriggers, and that's just going to be for a very light spinning rod. I want to make sure that the major game rod that's going to be at the back, which of course will be a Shimano, is supplemented by a spinning rod, just in case I end up coming across a good school of tuna or something like that, which I dare say I will. So I'm still in the process of actually installing the seat and tying it down. This here is for the fish finder, so it's a GPS fish finder there on the left, and then a small radio holder here on the right, again in a Railblazer, and that's actually going to be tied down, cable tied down, to keep that thing nice and stable, and that's going to be pretty much within arm's reach. I don't have to lean very far forward to access the major piece of navigational equipment on the vessel. Now this here I've just put in, this is a different set of rigging so that I can furl and unfurl the sail from the back seat, because the way these Hobies are designed, you actually need to crawl forward in order to furl or unfurl the sail. So this means that this here will be the control seat, and I won't have to crawl forward, noting that of course the weather may get pretty bad if it keeps raining the way it is as I film this. So this is the twist and stow rudder that comes standard with the Hobie Tandem Adventure Island. That's going to be swapped out for this one. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's a much heavier sailing rudder, and all that does is actually just lifts straight up, so it won't twist and stow, but it's a better rudder. And I've already noticed some issues sailing with the stock standard Hobie rudder. And this here is a flagpole, so that goes up to 1.5 meters. I'll just try and get a bit of a better view there. And that of course will fly the Kayak4Youth flag, and importantly on the top here we can put a camera in the top. And speaking of cameras, the cameras that I'm going to use for the whole adventure are these ones. They're Contour HD cameras, and these are sensational. You'll see some other YouTube clips that I've made talking about these. So there's going to be one of these mounted up here looking down this way, which can easily swing around this way when the big marlin gets hooked. And I've even got a mount here which suctions onto the side of the kayak, and that there will get footage for us underwater. Obviously there's a television documentary being made about this, so I'm actually going to have 5 different cameras stationed around the boat in order to capture the very best. Okay, so now we're at the main instrument panel that I've made for the vessel. And you can see there it's another Railblazer product. We've got the main base station radio. This will pump out 25 watts if need be, if I switch everything else off. That there is for a brand new piece of equipment that's only just been released. It's called a compass. And what it does is it shows you north, south, west and east without using any power. And tongue-in-cheek of course, this is the traditional navigation instrument. Every boat, kayak, vessel, ship, whatever, should have one of these. And this here, by the way, if anyone's got any constructive comments, I'm happy to take them, because I've never done this before and I am making this up as I go. So this spaghetti is actually the power supply for the vessel. A sealed lead acid battery, 12 volts, will be siliconed inside this standard sort of Pelican case. I've got a little digital, hard to see there, digital display in the top, which shows the voltage constantly. On this side is just a standard fuel breather, because of course the battery gives off a gas when it gets recharged. So I want that to exit this waterproof container. And on this end, phone charger, solar panel in, and the 3 outlets, marine grade, for the 3 main devices, the fish finder, the GPS, combined of course, the radio and the bilge pump. On this side here, these are just switches that allows me to switch on or off each of the appliances, and that there, and of course I know how to do this all in the dark, will be the on-off master switch. So this here is made by PowerFilm Solar, and I've made up this bracket here out of 3 just standard thin lightweight chopping boards, and then a Railblazer mount in the middle and some PVC pipe at the front. I'll just try and put this on, but basically that's going to sit on there like that, and that's a 7-watt solar panel, marine grade, that is going to trickle charge the battery, and all of that is going to run the instrumentation. And I know this might seem a little bit extravagant, but we're talking about nearly 400 kilometres here, and some of the waters, I've already been out there, are pretty difficult. There's currents and there's sharks and there's all sorts of issues to deal with, so I want to give myself the very best chance. And just so there it is, that's very rough and ready, I know, but I don't have time for editing at the moment. This is just to whet the appetite. In the next few weeks, as it all unfolds, and as these aluminium shavings disappear from the hull of my vessel, hopefully you'll see a difference. And if you really sort of like what we're doing here, you might even want to have a look at www.Kayak4Youth, kayak4youth.com, and perhaps donate a couple of bucks in the very good cause of youth suicide prevention and awareness in Australia and in Samoa. Cheers for now.